Because it's crazy as fuck how people who can't even acquire to have the same historical merit as us can ever, and not play on even playing fields with us, can ever fare to say they're better than us. You achieve some things, we achieve all of them. That's the difference between Black American people and the rest of you motherfuckers. We play cute with y'all, but we are not doing this anymore, because we're going to tell the truth about the jealousy that white people and model minority groups got over Black folk. We're going to stop this right now and today, right here. This mask you call white supremacy and racism is a mask to hide the vulnerability of jealousy that you are of our people. Yep, from the darkest of night hue of complexion to the palest of it. You are jealous from our hair nappiest to the straightness of it. You are jealous of our people. Their talent, their culture, their uniqueness, their innovativeness. Jealous. Jealous of our reproductive systems, organs, and aesthetics. Jealous of our talents and innovation. Jealous of our athletic capabilities. Jealous. So much that you kill us for it. You are jealous of our weaves, our wigs, our style of dress. That's why you copy it. You thought it was beneath you, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't create your rendition. Let's do a comparison historically. Let's do an academic comparison of Black people and all other races. Let's see, put your achievements where your mouth is. Academically, Black people created the satellite dish, mathematical systems, and languages. What have your people created? We what is his name? Grant T. Villwood created the first electric car, not Elon Musk. His carbon copy ass. Black people, innovation and technology, ancient civilizations, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, ancient Egypt. I share the same DNA with Pharaoh Ramesses III, E1B1A. He is my ancestral grandfather, and I'm from America. Right. Great civilizations you still study today. Right? You want to keep going? Because I don't know any other race where there weren't brown-skinned people who cultivated the culture and civilization. Right? Let's keep going. Technological advancement, from satellite dishes to buses and trains and planes, refrigerator, HVAC systems, Airbuses, motorcycles, engine oil, straightening combs, hot combs, that's our intellect. Excuse us. Our intellect. We created the first universities. Our intellect. First explorers from Spain and Portugal. Our people cultivated ancient civilizations. No other race of people can say that in both America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Our people created ancient civilizations. Technologically, brown-skinned people, us Black people, us American Indian, catapulted America into technologically advanced civilizations that we now use everything today, right? Black people, that's our intellect. Talent. Beethoven was a Black man. according to his autobiography. Black man. If you go to Europe, King Charles and his whole bloodline black, the black boy, his Huguenot grandfather, they were all brown skinned. The heraldic coats of arms showed brown skinned nations that ruled in Europe. Buddha, brown skinned man. Right. You follow him today. So, as I stated before, that's our intellect. Talent, as I was talking about, Beethoven, right? Music composer, still using his music today. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, to list just a few exceptional talents, right? I can go ham on all of the athletic talent. Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, right? I could go ham on it. So, yes, other races of people are gifted in certain areas. But black people, us American Indian people, are exceptional in everything. Everything. But I think you knew that. Why do you think you lower the bar? Lowering the bar is white supremacy. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Lowering the bar is allowing you to go further because you're white, not because you're talented. Taylor Swift is not known because she's talented. She's known because she's white. Whitney Houston and Beyonce are known for talent. That's the difference. Just being honest. My black fatigue won't allow me to allow you to so ever be bold enough to ever downplay who we are as a people, because you can't compete. Why do you think you need it skewed to your advantage? You're the person who can't compete with us. It's not the other. Talking about it's not that you won't compete. That's why inequality is your thing. That's where you get your affirmation from, right? They won't compete. That's why equality seems like oppression to a jealous person. We can't have it all. You know, in Asian culture where they say, you know, we won't allow our kids to take up a sport and academics, right? Because they feel like you can't be good at everything. Well, that's not the handicap for black people, because us so-called black people in America are good at everything. Because if knowledge, the basis of knowledge is intellect, the basis of knowledge is memory, right? That's the metric measurement of IQ. We got low IQ. It's not possible unless they have bad memory, because that's the basis of knowledge. Retention is remembering. It's not possible. That means that we have memory issues. So why would we have memory issues? Could it be stress? Because that affects memory. If the basis of knowledge is memory, then our children don't have low IQ. You've created systems to keep our children stressed. So it gives the illusion that our children can't learn, but the basis of knowledge is memory. So all our children have to do, which they do, that's why we have geniuses, is remember. That's why we got to get our kids away from you. Because no matter what you do, our children will always be exceptional. Always. So instead of you saying that you can't compete, you just masquerade your insecurity off as hate and say, well, we won't compete. We'll keep racism. We'll keep white supremacy. That's just a mask. You're not racist, you're jealous. Jealousy is just a byproduct to the deep-seated vulnerability of the insecurity that you feel within yourself. See, jealousy is irrational. Jealousy makes you use valid or invalid reason to hate someone. or at least confuse yourself to believe that you hate them because they look different, they talk different, they dress different, they're violent, they're this, while simultaneously being violent yourself. So that couldn't be the issue now, could it be? The truth of the matter is, jealousy would make you use any reason to make you hate black folk. If black people are the best people in the world, you would still hate them because you're jealous of us. You would find any reason, whether valid or invalid. That's kind of how jealousy works. Jealousy and getting angry with you furthers the situation, because then you could say, well, you offended me. That's also a mask. You're just jealous. You would use anything to be mad at us anyway because of the internal jealousy that you have within you. See, jealousy is very vulnerable, right? It leaves you open and exposed. So what the mind does to cope, stop. What the mind does to cope with vulnerability, we can't go any further. What the mind does to cope with vulnerability when someone is jealous is it creates these avenues that says, I don't like you because of this, and I don't like you because of that, and I don't like you. That's just the mask that you wear to lie to yourself. But the truth is, you are just jealous. My black fatigue will not allow me to say anything else. Now, for the black folk who fell for the mask that white people wear, that's what you get. You deserve it. If you were dumb enough to not see the pattern of jealousy, then that's on you. If you bought into their facade and their mask, that is on you. So when you are an Uncle Ruckus or a Hopping Bob and you yes to sir them and kiss their ass because you bought into your own inferiority while simultaneously they hate your guts because they want your skin, that's on you. You're the idiot. Because they envy you so much they want you dead. Because the best way to compete with any black man is if he's dead. Nolan Wells. But if you're dumb, that's on you also. Because no one has the historical merit of intellect, creativity, innovation, talent, all together but American black folk. You got some, we have it all. Y'all people achieve some things. Black people have achieved it all. We have achieved every single thing, both having intellect, talent, and athletic capability. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm being honest. It was given to us by God. And of course, God gives everybody talent. That's why I said some. But we have it all. So when you model minority groups, Hispanic, Latino, Asians, Africans, or I don't care, whatever your race is, and white folk try to masquerade this false sense of superiority over a people who out-achieved you in every way possible. You have some achievements. We have all achievements. You can never be better than somebody who created ancient civilizations and technologies you use today. We don't just excel academically, we excel athletically and in talent. You all don't do that. The metric system for achievement starts with us at the highest bar, and then you have to affirmative action, which is white supremacy, your way into it. So be humble. Y'all talk to us in arrogance, and you can't, because nobody historically, not from Asia, not from Africa, and hell not from Europe, can ever say they have achieved more than the American black person. Never. So you have never been better than us in your life. Your existence historically is not even proving it. That is my black fatigue talking. Talking about you better than somebody. When? Show the historical merit. Because if you go to Europe, white people, you've never invented anything. Grant T.ville Wood made the first electric car, not Elon Musk. Right. Buddha was a Negro. He ain't Mongolian. He ain't never been. Shaolin monks were Negro. It's on their scrolls that you needed black blood to be great. What do you think some Asian people will be like? I'm a mix because I want the talent. Right. Right. We excel in everything. You excel in some things. That's the difference between us and you. So humble yourself when you speak to us, because you're not even good enough to compete with us for real. Why do you think you don't want even playing fields? Why do you think you want white supremacy? White supremacy gives unfair advantages based on race. The same thing you complained about affirmative action and DEI doing is the very same thing white supremacy does. So you don't have a problem with DEI or affirmative action. You just don't want to benefit the people who you already think is exceptional. Because it is you who says, well, you guys are already naturally gifted. You guys are already naturally athletic, naturally talented. Those are your words. That sounds like somebody who's insecure. Uppity. I'm only uppity to a person who's insecure and feels insignificant. It's called being actually educated. Right? Because indoctrination teaches you what to think. True education and knowledge teach you how to think. Nobody, as I said before, no other race other than black people in America, us real American Indian, has achieved intellectually, talent, as well as athletic capabilities. No one has historically ever beat us in any of that. Because we embody that as a whole together. We're not talented in one area. We're talented in all areas, while other races are talented in some areas. So stand correct. Humble yourself when you talk to us. Because you need white supremacy to compete. We don't. We're exceptional even after you oppress us. That's why you're rolling back Jim Crow laws. Because even in our oppression, our greatness shows up supreme. Who's really inferior? Says the person who needed a whole existence of DEI and IEP. My black fatigue is talking. I'm not sugarcoating this for anybody anymore. We have lowered ourselves to fulfill your desire. We have not talked about our greatness. We have not boldly placed into your face a reality that you already know. It's not that you can't. Let me say that again. It's not that you won't compete with us fair. You can't. Tell the truth and shame the devil. If black people, whether they have a 2-family home, was economically stable, all of us, our schools weren't defunded, our identity was not changed, because even in it, we are still exceptional. But let's just talk about an even playing field when the finances are distributed into our community correctly and our schools aren't defunded. The innovation that catapults America into a technologically advanced society comes from black Americans. Remember that. Remember that. I want you to get it. We excel in everything. Everything. And as I explained it before, we as a people have the historical academic achievements to prove it. But you don't, because in Asia, what did you invent other than fireworks? I can name off a couple of black inventions: the satellite dish, the chip that controls the cell phone, the first Grand T. Villwood's first electric car, your HVAC systems, right? Heating and cool systems, your cars, your buses, your trains, and every little piece of detail in them. You know, as a matter of fact, the cars that we use on trucks were invented by a black man. Right. An American so-called black man. Your washing machines and your dryer. What did you invent? Try nothing. Just being honest. Ancient civilizations, we did that too. I like to brag on it. I'm sorry, God, forgive me, because you don't like arrogance. But you know how black people said they were in Egypt and that we were pharaohs? Well, I have the genetics to prove it. My haplogroup just so happened to be E1B1A. You know who also has that same haplogroup? Pharaoh Ramesses III. He is my ancestral grandfather. So is all his sons. Yes, we're royalty. I'm from America. Right. The Olmecs, the Incas, the Mayans. If you go to Bonampak, Mexico, the evidence speak for itself. These dark-skinned, lock-wearing, you know, the crazy locks, Bantu head-wearing peoples that just so happen to be in Mexico, written in stone, we're still here. See, we have evidence of our achievements. Do you? The coats of arms in Europe, from Britain to Germany, to Portugal and Spain, to Italy, to Russia and Sweden. We have the busts to Scotland and Ireland. We have the coats of arms. King Charles II was called the Black, or the fourth was called the Black Boy, because he was black. His mother was black, his father was black. See, we have the historical merit. The old settlers, according to Benjamin Franklin's observation concerning mankind and its peopling, talked about all the European nations that had dark skin, from Germany, Portugal and Spain. Portuguese and the Spanish were what they like to call swarthy. They were black. They were so dark. They were like soot black. The Italians, the Swedes, right? The Germans, who couldn't acquire the language or the customs of the Anglo-Saxons, even more than the complexion of the Anglo-Saxons. And as Benjamin Franklin made it so known, matter-of-factly, right, that the Anglo-Saxon makes up the principal body of the pale-skinned peoples of the earth, which lead him to say that Africa was black and brown, Asia was brown, America, excluding the newcomers, wholly so. America was entirely, that's what wholly so means, full of black and brown peoples. Takes you back to Webster's dictionary when he said, America originally applied to the copper color races of America. Copper is brown, isn't it? Right. Various of copper stages gives you all various sorts of brown, doesn't it? Black, because nobody's really black now, are they? They're just really dark, dark browns. Right. So, that's why I will never, ever, ever in my life allow any other race to so boldly think that they could ever thumb their nose down at me. Your race don't even have the historical merit to shine our shoes. So get on. Don't ever do that. Of course, that's my black fatigue talking. The nerve. So anyway, we want to pull the mask off. I don't believe white people are racist at all. Nope, I don't believe in your racism. I think your racism is just a mask. Because you are vulnerable. Why are you vulnerable? You're jealous. You're jealous because you can't be who we are. You can't have the exceptional history that we have. You're jealous because you're not as athletically gifted. You're not even academically gifted because the bar was lowered through white supremacy that allows you to go into Ivy League schools not based on what you know, but who you know. So you're not even gifted academically. I digress. Because most of you can't read, nor can you read out loud. I digress. So cut it out. You can never be better than someone you copy. Remember, greatness never copies somebody beneath them. What it look like you being an A student copying an F student? If we were the F students, then why do you mimic us? Why do you use our technologies? Why do you dress like us, walk like us, talk like us? Please. You think that when your rich white people go to these freaking golf tournaments, play golf, and go to country clubs that you originated that? How absurd. Black people invented country clubs. Black people invented golf. So when you go off into your country clubs and you play your golf, remember who started that. It wasn't you. So, and for all of you black folk who believe in white supremacy and feel insecure, that's what you get. You're stupid enough to fall for their white supremacist mask, which is their white supremacy and racism is a mask of inferiority. They're just jealous of you. They're jealous. You can't tell? The same people who demonize everything you look like and do tries to do exactly and look exactly like you. How could you think anything else? They say, oh, look at your dark skin, while simultaneously getting melatonin shots. Killing you, stealing your melanin so that they can inject it into their ass, so that they can acquire melanin. Make it make sense. If they thought they were better than you, why would they copy you? What is black culture? Everything that white culture tries to, what? Acquire or appropriate is the proper word. Your popular culture, which is pop culture, is black culture. Your soul food, your technological advancement and all of our achievements, all of rock and roll, hip hop, jazz, that's black culture. Yeah. Since you thought we didn't have any, I'd like to break it down what black culture is. Black culture is the creativity and innovation of our people, the satellite dish, the first electric car, Grand T-ville Wood, your HVAC systems, your stoplights, all technological advancement that black people contribute to America, which is mostly everything. That's black culture. Pop music is black culture. Your hip hop, your R&B, your rap, your jazz, your rock and roll, your violin, your piano. We invented the violin. You didn't know that? Go look it up. Black culture. Your little Chick-fil-A, black culture. Your little Popeyes, black culture. You understand me? Our vernacular, everything you do in America is black culture, sweetie. Even the way you dress, baggy pants, tight shirt, black culture. Even the way your preppy children dress is black culture. Go look it up, how our children dressed in the 1960s and 50s and prior. Black culture. Right. When you go to the country club and you play golf, black culture. We invented that too. Ancient Egypt, black culture. Oh yes, oh yes. He is my ancestral grandfather, Pharaoh Ramesses III. We share the same genetic haplogroup, E1, B1A. Yep, we were there too. We's, B-Kangs, black culture. The Olmecs of America, Mayans, Incas, right? The land code in Mayan, black lockhead man. Gold teeth wearing, gold chain wearing, football kicking, black civilization. That's ours. Black culture. Hence Bunnampuck murals of these same lockhead, dark skin, light skin, brown skin Americans who just so happen to be great at a good game that you hit through a kind of net, right? Little circle. Great at it. Exceptional. We are who we are. Black culture. Heraldics, coats of arms. Old settlers who came from Europe, right? As I was just talking about. From Portugal and Spain, from Germany, right? Benjamin Franklin's observation and him telling you all of the brown and black nations that entered into the Americas, who are the real settlers of America and the real colonizers as well. Not your people. Our people, sorry. There's a little black on black crime going on in the 16 and 14 and 1300s. It was 1492. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. That was a nigga. Italians were black. Go read Benjamin Franklin's book. He'll let you know. Spanish Inquisition would also tell you that the Portuguese and Spaniards who were shipped to Africa were also black. But I think you knew that. Old settlers were black, not white. Well, why did they cast them as white? Because white was also not a descriptor word to mean hue of complexion. It was a legal status that meant that you were free. You don't read, do you? You should try it. It's fundamental. Knowledge is power. Yeah. My black fatigue won't let me spare you. That shit in Europe, black culture. The Constitution, because you weren't there, black culture. I like knowing. The Bible, black culture. Yeah? It's black history, isn't it? A people who was chosen by God, exiled and persecuted because they defied their God. Cut off from being a nation and a people, a byword, a shaking of a head. An astonishment. whom other nations came under one accord to cut them off from being a nation, taking crafty counsel against them, dwelling in their tents and increase. I wonder who that happened to. Do you know? I know. Right. So stop. Are you going to come in? Because if you hit my car, I'm suing. Right? So I just want you to understand that we know the truth. We're not going to allow you anymore the opportunity to so boldly ever stand in our presence, feigning superiority and arrogance, knowing that you don't even have the historical merit to stand up and fight against us evenly. It's not that you won't, you can't. So stop pretending, hiding behind facades of superiority. The reason why we're not going to make it equal is because we think we're superior. You can't think that. Because if you were superior, you'd fight even. You prove it based on merit, not on murder. Put your talent and academic achievement where your mouth is. Fight on an even playing field without defunding our schools and our educational systems, defunding our communities, redlining them, removing us, and stealing and killing us. Let's 5 years. We build up the infrastructures of our cities, and you yours, our school systems, and let's really see who's great. Because though you may be great at some things, we're great at all of them. That's it. That's all. I will not sugarcoat anything for your sake, because we did that already. We were humbled in your sight. Why do you think Sha'Carri Richardson couldn't be such an exceptional runner? They needed to humble her by making it seem as if when I can't control you because of my jealousy, I control the perception of you. Now she has a drug issue. Weed would hinder your running, not accelerate it. But because she was so great, they had to humble her. They did the same thing with Simone Biles. And any black person that's exceptional, which is a lot of us. Why do you think we have to be great and yet humble? Because your fragile ego couldn't handle it any other way. How dare Sha'Carri Richardson be rich, talented, and smart? And rich? How dare she? So they wanted to knock her down a peg. That's the same thing they did with Michael Jackson. How dare he be so talented, smart, and rich? They're already so genetically gifted. And to know who we are, to know our own nationality and who we are and where we come from, and to be historically, academically talented, and athletically gifted was too much for white America to have. So every day they mock us and they hurt us. Every day they have to do things like kill us. You want to know when you jealous? When you feign privilege through treachery. Look what we did. We got away with killing. That's, if you gotta shake something like that in my face, that's jealousy. You only compete with somebody that they're dead is a sign of inferiority, not superiority. You shaking in our face unfair treatment just so you can feel better than us is a sign of insecurity, not superiority. So you saying, well, look what we got away with. That's just gross injustice. That's not privilege. Because if killing black people and hurting dehumanizing black people as white privilege, then black people have white privilege too. How many black people kill black people? You talk about black on black crime all the time. So if white privilege is getting away with killing black people, then black people also have white privilege. Why? Because there are black people that kill black people and get away with it all the time. That's not really privilege now, is it? It's a sad excuse for merit for somebody who can't naturally achieve it. That's my black fatigue talking, of course. What we're going to stop doing is ever thinking that you can be arrogant in our face. You don't have the historical merit to prove it. Better than us? How absurd. You can't even compete on an even playing field. So be quiet. End of discussion. End of this. And there's no irony in a black man killing a black man. There's no irony in a black woman who defends black people getting killed by black people. There's no irony in that. People tend to kill in their own community. You would know all about that Epstein file. So be quiet. Columbine. So be quiet. Charlie Kirk. So be quiet. I'm just being honest. Now, if honesty is not your thing, well, then you go back to believe that you are greater than a people who've outachieved you. We have outachieved every race in everything. So I don't even understand how you even fix your face to say you're better than a people you can't even historically beat. Remember, you have to steal our history to be great. You have to mimic our talent to be exceptional. So how are you better than us? You don't even have the historical merit to prove it. That goes for every race who's not American Indian, a so-called black folk. I mean it for all of you. You don't have the historical merit, so be gone. You can't compete, so be quiet. End of discussion. I'm done. Skin for what true us. Like, share, and subscribe.